Hello everyone, the Honest Collector here to give you the truth on the Hasbro Marvel Legends Secret Wars Daredevil, strictly based off of the Toy Biz Mattel mini little Daredevil figure. Now we got it as a full articulated, I was gonna say high end. That's not what this is. A full, highly articulated figure, and a lot of people are actually not liking this. Really, they're not liking the black. They're not liking that the D's are black. I have my own thoughts because I'm not gonna lie, I love this guy. And there's a lot to talk about, which is why this video is kind of long. But I want to show you some shortcuts as to what to do about the hand situation that Hasbro is doing with Daredevil. So first up, let's take a look at the packaging. It's the same as all the other ones. That just says Secret Wars Marvel Legends Series Daredevil, an exact copy of the original, just gigantic. And then on the back, you get the other figures in the wave, and then you get the little feature thing with that shield they give him. And on the back, it says blind lawyer Matt Murdock uses his radar sense to an enhanced hearing as Daredevil to thwart Doctor Doom's plans to black out New York City. So it's actually decently about Daredevil and about the actual story. And then also we get the red D's here, which is, this is not the outfit that he uses, and he has white billy clubs. So that's interesting. But the black comic look on this Daredevil, I was supposed to have him facing the front. That actually looks really cool. So having the black on this figure is actually really interesting. First off, I'm going to talk about the accessories. He does come with 2 gripping hands like this, and then he comes with 1 force choking hand and then 1 punching hand. And to get around that, if you have the maximum Deadpool or the Hydra Bob 2-pack Deadpool, although the reds don't match exactly, you can put those hands on and use those. Or if you have the Captain America from either the Secret Wars wave or the Capcom 2-pack with Venom, those punching hands do match, and I do believe he does have an open hand. So you can find your way around with that. As for the head sculpt, yeah, we need an unmasked Matt Murdock head sculpt for comics, and we just don't have that here, which I would have given this figure a super high rating if we had that for the accessories department, but we do not. So let's take a look. Oh yeah, also the billy clubs. The billy clubs, they actually did a really good job on this. So for my MCU Marvel Legends Daredevil, I showed that I did the bendy wire, and then for this, I was kind of scared about there being the peg here because I wasn't going to be able to do it, and then I saw that they actually made it a separate peg. Oh my gosh, the billy club went flying. So I actually saw that you could detach the peg here, and it looks like this. So now you have 2 of the holes, so that way if you have the Elektra, Daredevil, and Bullseye 3-pack, or if you have the MCU Daredevil Born Again figure, the cable, I have it right here, does actually fit in. And you can use this for that, which I think is really cool. But also, if you wanted to have 2 of them, one with bendy wire or whatever, displayed with this, I could still do the bendy wire trick. I actually don't know. There it is. So I just simply bent the wire like this and put it right in there, and then 1 in here, and there you go. Now that same mechanism works for these 2, which looks really cool. I honestly kind of want to do it in white or silver now because these are black, and I think with the white wraps, or not the white wraps, that's a whole separate thing. With the white wire, it looks super cool. So like I said, now if you just attach this in like that and then put this here, you get a pretty decent sized 1 long billy club for Matt, which is really cool. I like how big this one is compared to like the MCU one. I'm okay with the MCU one. I actually have it right here. I'm okay with this one. I do like it, but this one just is, it's thicker and it's longer, and I'm done. So yeah, this one's pretty cool. And then now just taking a look at the figure itself, people were saying the shoulders are too big. Do not say that about a Hasbro figure. they will make it look like the Sunfire body mold if we complain about that stuff. So this looks awesome. He looks super built. He just looks like such a superhero, and this is how it should look. And now it actually fits really well with like a Maximum Spider-Man or Maximum Deadpool, because they both it's so well. And the Capcom Wolverine, like stuff like that, you can really just put this next to, and the build fits. It doesn't look like they're from two completely different companies. Or sorry, I was thinking of the Mafex Wolverine. I actually have him right here, and you can see how good these two look because they have good shape and everything like that. So I'm just really, really pleased with the way they made this look. The legs are big too. You got the seams and the wrinkles and stuff like that to show it's a suit. It's a new sculpt. It is just wonderful, and I love how they made the ears, or not the ears, how they made the horns longer. I don't like how balled out they are. I think they should be a little more pointy, because they look like bug antennas or like alien antennas. So it's a little odd, but I do like that they are on the longer side. And that's something that people also don't like. And it's just kind of, this suit takes a lot of liberties with the black outlining, the black Ds, the shoulders, and the horns. And it's throwing a lot of people off, but I really like it. And this is probably this is the best Daredevil has looked. So that's awesome. And then now going on to the articulation, he does have the standard disc hinge, which really sets this figure back because there's no pivot at all. For someone that's doing acrobatic stuff, you really need him to turn his head like that. So it's not passable. I just don't like it that much. He looks up, but that's about it. So anyways, moving on to the arms, we do get a nice above 90 range bicep swivel here. The butterfly joints work pretty nicely, and I do think we actually get a serviceable amount of cross body. It's not the most, but I do think it works, and I do like it. So then, yeah, we get the bicep swivel here, and then we get the double jointed elbows, which work super nicely. You can kind of finagle how you want that to reach here. Okay, I now do have to be much quieter because I filmed this and my mic unplugged and it was super quiet. So now it is 2 in the morning. So, going over the arm, the butterfly joints, the double jointed elbows, bicep swivel, all that stuff, the vertical hinge for the hand, for the gripping hand. Now we have the torso, which I never understood the whole point of only showing one joint at a time when it comes to the torso. So both joints crunch down like this, both go back like that. I mean, unless you're like proving a point, actually. And then side to side, not enough. And then you get the twist at the top, and because it's on this type of system where there's no ball at the bottom, he can only twist. And he now cannot do that, which actually is important. But anyways, so then looking at the legs, there's no drop downs, which does hurt the figure. You can only bring him up 90. So with that whole crunch, it's still not bad, but could have been more. It's no maximum. Which, could you imagine a maximum Daredevil? So then we get the splits, which don't go out all the way, which is unfortunate. You get a upper thigh cut there. The double jointed knees work wonderfully. Get the shin swivel, and then the ankle articulation going this far down, this far up, which is good, and then the ankle pivot, and like I said, you're getting your swivel at the top of the boot here. And then kicking back like all the Marvel Legends, not really. And I also forgot to mention that he does come with this shield that like doesn't really matter. And then he also does come with something that was actually a main attraction for people, the radar effect, or his radar sense, which does plug into the back here. And it looks really good, which some people are saying, well, it looks a little weird from the side or from doing it like this or something. And I'm like, why would you have something that looks like this flat circle from the side? That would look weird. It's always going to be from the front. So I don't really mind. And then also kind of thought, interestingly, Since this is a peg hole, if you want to display him with like fighting bullseye, you can always do something. Oh, you can always do something like that. You can either put sticky tack or something, or you could just have that be there, which that's pretty cool. So, yeah, now let's get on to these size comparisons. Which, by the way, the maximum Deadpool arms, or not arms, but other hands, does not work on this guy. But you might be able to try the Secret Wars Captain America from the same wave, or technically the first wave, but the same line. Or try the one from the Capcom 2-pack with Captain America and Venom. And by the way, here he is next to the Man Without Fear comic wave Daredevil and the Maximum Spider-Man. Here he stands next to the black suit symbiote Spider-Man from the first Secret Wars wave and the brown suit Secret Wars Wolverine from the first wave as well. Here he stands next to the 2016 Netflix Marvel Legends Daredevil and the 2024 Spider-Man No Way Home Matt Murdock. Here he stands next to the 2025 Marvel Legends Daredevil Born Again Daredevil and Punisher. Here he stands next to the Jim Lee style Mafex Wolverine and the Mafex style CT Toys Brown Suit Wolverine. Here he stands next to the Hawkeye Disney Plus Kingpin minus the jacket and the Cobra Soldier, which is what everyone is using as a bullseye custom for Daredevil Born Again, so I figured I'd throw him in here. And because of his martial arts background, here he is next to the Jada Toys Ryu, Fei Long, and Sagat. Here he stands next to the Fantastic Four reissue of Doctor Doom and the 20th anniversary style Toy Biz Marvel Legends Hulk. Here's how he stands next to the Mirage Comics Shredder figure and the Marvel Legends Retro Wave Tombstone. And finally, here he stands next to the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Jakks Pacific Sonic figure. And just to do some head swaps to show you guys, no, the Matt Murdock head does not fit on this Daredevil. I mean, it technically snaps on, but the neck is way too high. So unless this is how you prefer your Daredevil to look, that's okay. You can kind of work it. And then just for fun, just because I'm bored. Yep. This is perfect. I'm displaying him on my shelf. If you ever wanted to go with this look, or you just wanted to paint the mask red, here's how this looks on him, but it is very loose. But proportionally, I think it does fit. However, because of how loose that is, I can't say the same about this fitting on the all-black suit. So what are my final thoughts on this figure? I actually enjoyed it quite a lot. I think it's a really good figure, and I definitely am glad I had it in my collection. As someone that has a decent amount of Daredevil, not a decent amount, but I have the Netflix one, I have the MCU one, and I have the Man Without Fear one. I'm still not burnt out on this Daredevil. I'm super happy to have this figure as my definitive comic book Daredevil, even though technically it is inaccurate. I do think that it is a really good figure and looks better than the other ones that have come before it. So that includes the cel-shaded one, the one that came in the 3-pack, and some of the comic ones before that, the one in the Bucky Cat mold. This one is the best one in my opinion, and if you see this Daredevil figure, I think you should definitely get it if you're on the fence about it, because you're going to have the choice for the Billy Clubs as 2 or 1, and it not look weird. You get the radar effect. You get good articulation that's better than just passable. However, the hands, you're not going to get a complete set of hands. You're not going to get a Matt Murdock head sculpt. And you're going to get this, which no one really cares about. So that is on the unfortunate side. And you don't get the drop-down legs. But I'm still going to give this figure an 8 out of 10 because of how enjoyable this thing is. I do think it is a decent and good figure. It has unique sculpting to make it more than just a naked body that's red. And I really did enjoy it. So, yeah, and I really like the way it looks. So, that's going to warrant my rating being an 8 out of 10. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoy this figure if you got it yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please give this video a like. And if you're new, please subscribe so that way I can turn on notifications so that way I can give you the truth on the next figure. Thank you guys so much again for watching. Spread peace, love, and be greater together. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.